Hello everyone, it's Marie from Skeletorama again. Welcome back to my channel. So how is everyone? So we are on episode 5 now. We are going to be working on cutting our baseboards and our crown molding ahead of putting our wall in, at least just for that one particular wall. And we are going to be doing some of the wallpaper and prep for the opposite side and the attic. So hope you enjoy. We're going to let this dry a bit and we can start measuring for our baseboard and our crown molding for this side. So this is the baseboard here. It's already been stained, so it's going to sit along here. Now, just like this one, we're going to need to miter it in. We're going to need to do the same to the crown molding. Nice thing with the crown molding is it's just one piece, so I can just put it along there and we're good. Measurement wise and all that. But this one we're going to need to cut into these parts, so we'll probably do it the same way we did the other one. I don't know if this will cut with the easy cutter, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to test it out. I'm going to test it out on this very end piece, because either way we're going to end up losing some of this end piece. So I'll put it here and I'm going to press down. Ooh, it does. Okay, good. That makes me very happy. So that makes life much easier if it does. I have some sort of stuff stuck in there from doing all of those coffee stir sticks. Okay, so we're going to do the same kind of thing we did last time. We're going to put it about here, and then we are going to cut this way. And I'm taking my time when I'm pressing this, doing a couple like pulses of it, because I don't want to ruin it. I'm just gonna snip that little bit that was on there. Okay, so that's that part, that's this part. Now we can take this, same as we did the other one, we're gonna flip it over, and I'm gonna get a pencil. And I'm going to put a mark right here. I'm going to go just slightly in from the door, and then I'll have this one come over, because that way, it's not going to really hurt anything. We're not going to let it glue to that door, but because we'll put it together and then we'll open the door after that, just so this can dry in the right spot. All right. So now that I've put that mark there and I can't really see it, I'm going to transfer it around to the front. I don't know why I do that. Idiot. Okay, there we go. That helps. All right, so we're going to put this here. Center that. And same thing, I'm going to cut. And we're going to put this on here. And how does this look? This looks good. Okay. And so I'm going to test it by holding it here and opening the door, which opens and shuts just fine. All right, so there's that one. This will be the easy one. We're gonna put this here. We can actually leave a little bit of a gap, won't hurt anything. And I'm gonna mark this right here. And I'm going to cut just to the left of my pencil line. There we go. Okay. And so this one is done here as well, which is good. Okay. And just like with everything else, I'm going to go ahead and color it black, because this one is going to be the one that you're going to see from the outside. So that way it's the same as the centerpiece. I'll help blend in. Okay, now this one is the one that we're going to have to use the miter box on. Okay, so we've got those. We have this one. I'm going to line this up here. And we are going to put a mark right here. Okay, and that miter is going to go out this way. get this out of my way here. Grab my little miter box. I'm going to put this in here. Where's my line? I'm going to line my line up right there because that needs to go like this. Okay, I'm going to put this in here. Why it just doesn't want to do that last little bit. Okay, so now of course when we put it with its friend in the corner, it's going to be like this, but it'll match better because they'll be the same size. All right, so I can set this to the side here and bring this back over. I am going to color this black as well for the same reason as the last one, in case I screw that angle up. Or actually no, brown, excuse me, my bad. Where's that one I was using? Coconut shell, there we go. So this way it won't be as noticeable if I've messed the angle up, which is always a possibility with me. I really like how much that blends in. Okay, so we have all of our molding. And it is good. This one can actually maybe even come over just a tiny bit. Where's my easy bit? I need to shave just a sliver off of this. Just one more sliver because that was not terribly straight from the looks of it. Sandpaper. Much better. All right, perfect. Okay, so these we can put on once we've glued this in place. So we will set these up here for the time being, and then the crown molding will be much easier. So it is going to sit like so. Okay, so it's going to have to do the same thing. It's going to come in this way. So now with the crown molding stuff, I'm going to hold this up here and show you. Okay, it's going to need to come this way. So I write the angle on it, because when you take it over there and you get it in the box and you're like, okay, now how do I do this? You're going to forget. Okay, so what we'll need to do is we'll need to put this way, and it's going to come this way. Okay, let's put it over here. And this one we've only got to do one side, which is nice. The other one is straight. Okay, friggin' thing. Works my last nerve. All right, put that thing away. Get it out in the face. And we're going to put this back up here and make sure we went the right way. Here's hoping. And we did. Yay. Okay, awesome. All right, so now we can just measure this and we can do a straight cut on it. So we'll put a little mark right there. Get my easy cutter here. And I want it, let's see, let's go like this so it's a little more stable. I'm going to cut just to the left of my pencil mark. Whee! And bring this back in. This is also how we're going to do all the crown molding and baseboards in the house too. So, okay, so this goes here like so, like here, so it could stand to go down just a little. Well, no, actually it's good. It could stand to be left the hell alone by me. That's what it could stand. Okay, so we're good there. So we're gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna do this end black. And we will do the other end with the brown. Voila. Okay, so I took a look through what I had. I did have some of the extra molding from when we did the addition. But the thing I realized was it's all well and good to put something here to disguise this, but I need that gap to be there. That was the problem in the first place. So I think what we'll do for now is just leave it. But we may want to put the little doorknob on since we can. It'll make it easier. We can put it like right about here. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. To heck with it. All right, let's see. Let's do, let me find my E6000. Okay, I've got it, my little E6000. This stuff works great when it's metal. Although, oh, it may have been too long since I used it, that it is gonna take the lid and stick it to the damn tube. There we go. Sometimes you just need pliers, you know? All right, so put a little bit in here. And we will put this right ways up. I'm just gonna stick this right about here. That way, if we do put a door frame around it, it'll be cute. If I wanted to, say, take that off and replace it and put like a faux door on there, I can do that. I just pull that off and then do that. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna let this dry, clean some of this stuff up, and we can go out there and, oh, we gotta, nope. I don't get to relax for a minute. I get to do wallpaper. So fortunately, when I was sitting here doing stuff, I was thinking about, I was like, wait a minute, I don't need this one for it. I need this one. So that was almost a really fun oops right there. So what we can do is we can do our patterns for the attic divider to be easy enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this here, and I do have the offcuts from the other one that I could put along here. Or I could do this one a little bit darker. This one here, let's hold it against here. How does that look? It looks okay because it's just going to be over the door frame, so we're really not going to see that much of it. So just like the last time, I'm going to take this and I'm going to cut the white strip off the top. And we're going to put this here, like so. Gonna line this other one up here. And we're going to put a little pencil line right there. So now when I cut it, I'm going to cut to the left of the pencil line because, again, I don't mind pushing that over a little bit, but I don't want to run out of room, right? So this in here, just lined up. Let's take this strip off here. And then it was 7 3/8 that we were doing these the height of, so that hasn't changed. So we'll do this over here. So 7 1 2 3/8. This will make it a little easier for us to maneuver these around. And then this one here needs to be cut to 7 3/8. 2 3. Boom. We should be done with that. Okay. So now this is going to go here and here. Perfect. And we're very lucky, and this kind of carries on. It's not as noticeable. And this is almost at the joint of that door. So, which is also pretty cool. Okay, I'll put this here, put this here. And I think we will wait. Why is this longer than this? These should be the same length. Are they? Okay, they are. I just must have it like weirdly sideways about here. Nope, they're the same. Okay, I'm just losing my mind, so this must be off a little bit. So now with this, we should probably wait until we get it in there, so we can measure it up against the ceiling and all that good stuff. And make sure, see, that's just strange. Here, let's put this against this. All right, put this square. That, yeah, it's off by a little bit, but again, it's not really going to matter because we've got a, oh, what is it? A rail going across here, so. All right. Yeah, it's just a tiny bit, so I'm going to turn this over like this. I'm going to just cut it with my scissors. See if that helps. That's just bugging the hell out of me. Okay, that's better. All right, much better. What we can also do with this stuff is you can tape it together in the back. And then we can cut it that way. I think we'll wait until we're out there and we'll place it, because I can put this over here and I can put glue on this part of the wall. Put that on there, stick it down, and then cut it out from the inside of the other room as well. So yeah, there's that. Okay, and then the other one we have to do is the attic here. Okay, so this one, see, there we go. I'm going to take out there, and then we'll fit it in to make sure that, you know, we didn't lose any space from the roof or any of that. And that way we can set the other wall in place and we can draw a line, and then we can cut our paper from that. Because we'll need to do that for this side too, because this wall is right here. Just not sure how much. So, all right. So I'll see you guys out there in a minute, I guess. So we are back here at the house, and hopefully I'm not going to get too much in the way of the light and everything with this, but there's like no nice place to put this where y'all can see. So what we're going to do is we are going to, we have our wall here, and let's try this in here just to see how it looks, which I've already seen, and it looks really cool. So it's going to be going there. What we need to do is we need to deal with that wall back there, right? Because it's a really strangely shaped wall. So we're going to want to get our template for that. Part of it's going to be the same wall finish as this, and the other part is going to be the purple. So we need to figure out what is that part, right? The best way to do it is I have brought out the template here. Okay, and so it's going to be this way. Okay, and we're going to match it up here. So I'm going to go ahead and match it up to the peak of the roof and the edge of this wall. And then I'm going to cheat here, and I'm just going to take my fingernail and I'm going to go boop, and I'm going to make a crease right there. And then I'm also going to drag my pencil along it so that I'll know where that ends, right? I'm going to go a little beyond it, but so then we're going to take our wall. We're going to put our wall here where it goes. Make sure it's lining up at the back. Everything's good. It's straight. It's where we want it to be. Let's see. Yes. Okay. So So right here is the spot. So I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to draw a line here as well. It's just a rough line, but it gives me an idea. I know this line is better at the top than at the bottom because I went a bit squirrely there. So we're going to take this out back to the desk and we are going to cut some paper with it. And then we'll come out here and we'll start putting all this stuff together. So we are back. So what we've done is, again, we've drawn our line here. I've folded and drawn the line here. So this is going to be inside that attic. This is going to have something completely different done to it. This is going to be the same paper that we used for the other one. Now, if we hold it up here, you can see that it's not going to be quite tall enough. So we'll deal with that as well. But then we have this part that's going to be purple. So here's where the inside of that wall was. Here's where the inside of this wall was. So what we're going to do is we're going to have the pieces of paper kind of join maybe behind the walls or whatever. We'll cut them big enough so that they can do that if we want. Actually won't be able to do that here, but so I'm going to take the paper trimmer because again it cuts a straight line where I don't. This is a straight line, so I'm going to use that to line it up to make our little pattern here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to cut it just a little bit to the right of this. That means we're probably going to have to fit some stuff in, which is fine. I'm going to cut this way here. So this is the bottom and the top because I will mess this up, and that's the front. So this is going to be the part that's going to be kind of like the plaster lap when we get to that point. All right, and then we've got this one here. Do the same thing. I'm going to line this up at the bottom. Where'd my line go? Okay, I put my line here. I'm going to go ahead and go just a little bit to the right of this line because if anything, this can go behind the wall. Okay, so we're going to pull this down here like this. So now we've got a purple piece and we've got our regular piece. So what we can do with the seam here, in theory, these are going to be the same across. So we can have our piece, the joint be up here like this. And we do have extra pieces right here because the problem we're going to run into, of course, is that this has that vignette to it, right? So we're going to need to make sure the color values match. Well, we can take this, we can flip this upside down and we can put it up here, or, you know, this piece here. Same thing, just whichever one matches it better, which maybe this one would match better, because we're also going to have a piece of crown molding that goes across here that's going to break this up anyway, so it's not going to look as strange to your eye when we do that. Okay, so let's go ahead and take the paper trimmer that I've lost now. How do you lose a paper trimmer? Okay, I'm going to take this top piece off of here. Dun, dun, dun. There we go. And here we are. So we can also kind of play around with that a bit because if we're going to use this as our line, this is going to come down even farther and have even less of the vignette. So that'll be perfect. Okay. So we can take our pencil. We're going to go ahead and just trace that here. We're still going to use the paper trimmer for it. And actually, let's do that right there. That right there is a little line. I'm going to trace this. Most importantly, let's make sure we have the front. We did. Now I got to line it back up again. See if I can. All right, let's go ahead and do our window, because we're going to need to cut that out too. Okay, so there's that. And then for this piece, we can take this here, we can match this up along this bottom part here. Actually, let's go down a little bit just in case that's not even. Okay, and I'm going to go like so. Okay, so there's those. Set that over to the side. And this one I'm going to cut out with the scissors, I think. A little bit easier. So I want my Tonic logo facing away from this edge so that I don't get any of the micro serrations on it. I'm going to cut this out. It's a real simple cut, and if you use the longer scissors, chances are you're not going to get as wobbly as you would with, say, the shorter ones. But I'm not completely sure that this is straight between those two, right? Okay, so we use scissors for that. We're gonna use paper trimmer for this though. Okay, so what we're gonna do is I'm going to do this part first, because I know what I'll do is I will cut my guidelines off like an idiot, because that's just how I roll, right? We're gonna go from guideline to guideline there, where I have those little dots. And then now we're gonna do it like this. So we know we've got a nice straight edge. Let's go down here for that. And we just have to find the pencil line. There we are. All right, pencil line there. And the pencil line here. Ah, and it just dawned on me, we have to make this shorter anyway. Duh. Okay. So it was what? 7, and let me grab the other one. Because guess who forgot about the fact that it's shorter? Oh, I could have done it with one piece of paper. Oh well. So 7 3/8 is what it was. Bloody hell. Okay. So yeah, we ended up cutting that off anyway. So there's 7 and 1 2 3/8. All right. There we go. Okay, so the bottom is going to have the window where it looks kind of weird. And then we'll have this top part up here. Okay, and so it looks like it does go pretty straight. So I'm just gonna cut it between the points, because I just don't feel like messing with it. Like I said, we're gonna have the crown molding there. So if it's slightly off, it's not a huge trauma, because there'll be something there to hide it. So let's measure it against our piece first to make sure that we're good. Okay, so this is going to go from here to here. This is going to go from here to here, right? So that looks good. Again, it's going to be a little bit different, but it's fine because, like I said, we're going to have crown molding. So I just need to do the circle, which I'm going to do with a craft knife. I'm going to make sure I don't have my triangle underneath that. And I'm just going to very carefully go around this. Because once we go to put stuff in the house, the way we do the wall and the order we do the wall is slightly different than the order we have to do everything else. So we'll be able to put our wallpaper on. We can put our crown molding on, but we're going to have to wait for the baseboards. You know, we can put the wainscoting on too, but we're going to have to wait for the baseboards until the flooring is in, because your baseboards need to sit on top of your flooring. Otherwise, you're having to cut it exactly. That way you can hide if you're not great at cutting. And since I'm not great at cutting things, I'm going to go ahead and do it that way. She says as she's poorly cutting a circle. Okay. There we go. Voila. And then we'll be able to put this window in as soon as we do that one. All right, so there is our yellow for that wall. We have our yellow for the opposite wall, minus we haven't cut our doorway out because we're going to cut it out when it's in. I'm going to sit these to the right because if I put them with the scraps, we're going to be in huge trouble. Okay, so now we have our purple. We're going to go ahead and do while we're there too. So those, since they're not that main wall, those are all going to be this purple here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take a sheet of this out. we're going to go ahead and cut some of the stuff that we've got in there. Now, I was thinking about the areas with the bay windows. So you've got where the corner stuff, you know, we stained it, comes down, and then we had the window blocks that I wasn't sure, was I going to stain them, was I not, how's it going to look? And I thought to myself, you know what would just look better is just to do it all the way straight across. Instead of having this weird, big, huge, long window area come down, just have the wallpaper start right under the window. So I think that's what I'm going to do with that. All right, so this one here is the front of this. So we're going to start with this. We're going to use the two manufacturer cut sides because I'm sure they cut straight, whereas with me it's a crapshoot. And I'm going to trace this here and then trace this here. Okay, and I'm only going to do the top of it because again I'm going to use paper trimmer for this. Now this doesn't have necessarily a direction per se, however you'll notice there is kind of like a texture that comes straight up and down, so we're just going to have to remember to keep this kind of straight up and down. And we'll take all these out there, we'll fit them on there to see how they look, and then I'll show you what I'm talking about with the windows. You'll be like, oh yeah, that. All right, there we go with that one. And then we'll get this little angle here too. There we go. All right, so now we have our purple piece that's going to go on the wall as well. All right, so let's take these out there and make sure they're going to fit. And we'll take the opposite side wall paper out there too, and maybe we can hold it up and cut the door out. I don't know, figure it out. See you out there in a second. Okay, so that is it for episode 5. So in our next episode we are going to work on some of the stuff with the tower window, and because it's easiest to reach before we get the wall put in, so we're going to do a little bit of the wallpaper and stuff for that, and getting it attached in the rest of the hallway and all that good stuff. So hope to see you then. Bye.